put a capital in your last name. And there we go. We should be streaming live on YouTube. Regis Reeves, this mic is all yours.
All right.
There's that beeping again.
Yeah. Isn't that interesting? What a way to start the day.
You're listening to ACIM Gather Radio for students and teachers of A Course in Miracles. Join us at acimgather.us.
Things are just too much, and I'm holding on so tight. I wanna just relax, give up without a fight. I long to feel that sweet release, so I turn within and pray. Stop, take a breath, relax, surrender, trust. Say, let it go, 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 let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it go. Let it go, let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it go, let it go, I surrender. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it go. Let it go, let it I release. Let it go, let it I surrender. Let it go, let it I release. Let it I let go. Let it go, let it I release. Let it go, let it I surrender. Let it go, let it I release. Let it I let go. Let it, I'm gonna let it 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 go. Let it, gonna let it go. Let it, gonna let it go. Oh yeah, let it, gonna let it go. Let it, gonna let it go. Let it, gonna let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Surrender. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Surrender. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Surrender. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Surrender. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Surrender. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Surrender. Let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Surrender. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Surrender. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Surrender. Let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Surrender.
I usually cut this song off early, but I thought we needed to be reminded multiple times today to let it go. And I'll tell you why right after this. Or maybe not. Maybe there's no after this. There's only now. Nigel just typed that. Yeah, there's no after this. So anyway, after this.
It's okay to have just a little, and it's swell to have a lot. On the bottom or in the middle, in a rowboat or a yacht. Love is what we long for, to be acknowledged and to be seen. In the end, does it really matter if you're a prince, a pauper, or a queen? The more you give, the more you give, the more you live, the more you live. Your happiness is relative. And if you're feeling like crap, it's time to face the fact it's your prerogative. Your prerogative to be positive. If we've come, what do we believe? Then as you think, you shall receive. So let go of the past, pull your head from your ass. It's your prerogative to be positive. Here with the ever after this, here is where the laughter is. Be a tambourine man in the yellow submarine and be positive, positive. Don't hang on tight, let it all go. The more you find out, the less you know. Life is just slipping right through your hands. She's up there, and that's why you're making your plans. Try your best, give it all you got. You might win, you might lose, shoot your best shot. Get mad, get even, if you must. You gotta learn how to love, learn how to trust. The more you give, the more you live. Your happiness is relative. But if you're feeling like crap, it's time to face the fact it's your prerogative to be positive.
And there we go. It's a choice. Yep. And we can't be reminded too much. You know, every time we find ourselves unhappy, sad, mad, disgusted, scared, we're not a victim. We're just not. And I know it would be a lot easier, seemingly, it would be a lot easier for our twisted stories that I am a victim of my body, uh, to feel like, oh, I'm not doing this. But we have a choice. We can let it go, even if it is. Even if what you believe is true, you can let it go. And there was a lady I was helping yesterday, and man, there was an odor coming from her that was like really powerful and not fruity. It didn't smell like fruity pebbles, but it was powerful. And I just right there on the spot decided I didn't care. And I kept helping her and kept talking to her. And it's like, okay, let it go. Right now, not later. Not after I tell everybody else how this lady smelled the whole time I was helping her, but I just decided to let it go right then and right there. My five senses doesn't tell me what to do. They can present to me what they perceive to be out there, but that's the only power they have. And they can't tell me I don't like the smell. They can bring me the smell, but I decide how I feel about the smell. And it's just as simple as that. Now, does it work like that in every situation? Or do we operate like that in every situation? No. But we can, and we can aspire to. And I think sometimes that's why the Course talks about willingness, because we really don't aspire to. We don't really want to aspire to operate like that. We want to be able to wild out and get mad and get upset about stuff. We don't want it to be our prerogative. We want to reserve to be human, to be normal, to act like everybody else act. What does it mean to be human? To be normal? Oh, it just really, that's interpretation. I want to act like everybody else act. I want to respond like everybody else respond. I gotta have some common sense. So let me reserve some space for certain situations, such as my sound is switching. I'm gonna play a song. I want to play with my soundboard and see what's going on. So I'll be right back after this beautiful song by a beautiful lady that lives around the corner somewhere from me. She's in Nashville, and she's actually in my same subdivision, Pat LaBeouf.
Take away my sorrow, my dreams about tomorrow, my list of everyone who did me wrong, my thinking that I'm right, my envy and my pride, my judgments and my need to belong. Take away my future and my past, take all my hopes and fears, take the things I think I need to have, give me only now and here, and I'll have everything, 'cause all that's left is love. Take away my wealth, my power and my health, my feeling that I'm in this all alone. My pleasure and my pain, my wanting my own way, my fantasy that I am in control. Take away my future and my past. Take all my hopes and fears. Take the things I think I need to have. Give me only now and here, and I'll have everything, 'cause all that's left is love. Take away my future and my past. Take all my hopes and fears. Take the things I think I need to have, and give me only now and here, and I'll have everything. Yes, I'll have everything. I'll have everything, 'cause all that's left is love.
Aha. Right here, right now. And all I have left is love. Okay, so that's how it works. And everything else is not. And right here, right now, all things are well, all things are perfect. And either I'm focused on what happened 30 seconds ago, or I'm already contemplating what's going to happen next, whenever that is. So, and who's doing that? I'm doing that. That's all it is to it. I'm doing it. So thanks, Pat, for that song. And we really don't want to say take everything. As I was saying, we really don't. We want to leave some stuff. We want to have some stuff reserved. We want to feel autonomy. We want to feel separate. I'm my own person. You know, we want to continue that belief that I'm my own person. And yeah, thanks, Lynn, for commenting back on. There are some people who are trying to listen by way of ACIM Gather Radio that are having some issues. But you can join us on YouTube. It's just as easy as ACM Gather Radio, because we are YouTube live right now. You have YouTube on every device, phones, TVs, pads, laptops. So YouTube is quite convenient. There is hardly anything that doesn't have YouTube availability. Even you can just go to YouTube in your web browser if you don't have an app. So, and of course, you can join us and chat with us as RL444 did. And we like that. We like chatting with each other. So, hooray. It's kind of good that the radio wasn't working, or else RL444 may not have dropped in. And welcome Carrie, Nigel, Dove, Lori, Glorian, Christopher, and anyone else? Sharon. Sharon's name is always on my bottom I don't know why that is. And anyone else on the way and that's coming, those on YouTube, I think my wife is listening by way of YouTube because she's at work and she likes the YouTube. I don't know if she find it easier or if she just likes seeing me. Haha. Or both. But whoop, there it is. So I started out playing Let It Go. And Pat was in some way singing Let It Be with a different set of words. Just take everything and let it be. Let it be. Let me be now. Let me be here now. Without all my plans and concepts and beliefs and ideas of right doing and wrongdoing. It's really a belief of right doing and wrongdoing when we struggle with aging. It's like, oh, this shouldn't be happening. And this isn't right. This isn't a right doing. And this is a wrongdoing. And we have a choice in that. We can arrive at peace in a number of ways. And we can let it go. And we can forgive it. We can forgive ourselves because we chose the story and the body experience and to experience separation. And our choice to experience separation has scared the hell out of us for our whole life. Pretty much, yep. The panic that we feel when we believe that we're alone and separate and others are advantaged over us or below us. Some people like a poor people's story and some people like a rich people's story. They're both the same. It's separation. And that's all it is. Someone was talking yesterday and I didn't comment. I was just listening. And they was just talking about how when you wake up in the morning and those that were back as far as Festive Friday, I used to always say before your feet hit the floor, this ego thought system has already cranked up, with its ideas of separation, right doing and wrong doing. And they was talking about they awakened and had a thought, oh, I should call this person on the West Coast. And of course, the West Coast, if it was 6 o'clock, like if it's 6 o'clock here on the West Coast, it's 4 a.m. And so she was saying, well, I know I wasn't going to do that. I'm not going to call that person now. So why would the ego or the mind even say to do something like that? My take on it was, she had a little different take, but they were all the same. But my take was the ego just wants you to quickly realize that you're separate as fast as you can, whatever it can pop in your mind the moment you wake up in bed, that you're separate, you're alone. There's a them and there's a you. And it doesn't matter. Even if it tell you stupid stuff, just get you thinking about someone that you believe is outside of you, that's separate. Don't wake up into oneness. Don't wake up into the stillness. Let's get this show started. And yes, Lori says, thank you, Regis. As long as I hold on to the belief that aging is wrong, I'm holding a grievance and cannot have peace. Amen and amen. And Lori, is so funny. I started, my friend in Memphis, he thinks I'm just a complete sideshow. Some of the stuff I say to him. So I was telling him that on this particular job, I said, they treating me like I'm old, and I let them. I said, because they catering to me and I know more than they know. So I said, I'm not going to try to change it. It's like they treated me like an old man who knows nothing about technology, and I know more about technology than they do. so, and so they jump in and do stuff for me like they just, and I just sit back. I'm like, okay, I'm not offended. you know, and I think about aging. I think about the country we live in, Western world, how aging is not appreciated, is not validated, is not held in high esteem. It's not like, oh, let's talk to him, let's talk to Lori, she knows a lot, and let's put them up on a pedestal, and let's honor them, and uh, let's try to get them to mentor us and show us the ropes. No, it's like, get over out of the way. In Western world, it's like, get over out of the way. And I'm okay with it. I decided I was okay with it a few years ago. It's like, whatever. It doesn't change who I am. See, this week I'm talking about self-image. I'm talking about self-esteem, true self-image, true self-esteem. And so it doesn't matter that you think I'm old and decrepit. Because you think I am don't mean I am. And you can treat me like I am, it still don't mean I am. So it's just a sideshow for me. It's like, okay, I'll take it. You want to do stuff for me? Oh, let me get that Regis, get it. My back and knees work just like yours, but if you want to get it for me, you can get it. I'm not offended. Thank you for loving me that way. I appreciate it. So you have to, it's a choice. And Laura said, but my grandkids, oh, the grandkids, of course. The grandkids worship us and thank God for the grandkids. Even when, and I can tell you, Lori, even when they become adults, they will still feel the same way. They do. The grandkids definitely hold us high, and they keep us high, and they got us. As we say in this generation, I got you. The grandkids got you. That's for sure. They hold that, and thankfully we haven't lost that in America. Thankfully we haven't lost that. And Laura said her boyfriend says, "Don't take this the wrong way, but if I was a kid, I would want you as a grandma. You're fun." Yeah, I'm the fun uncle. I used to be the fun uncle of all of my siblings. I was the fun uncle. All the nieces and nephews wanted to hang with Regis. I let them be kids. I didn't try to make them be mature and act right. I embrace where they were in their journey, and that's again letting it be. And it's interesting. Life is so much easier when we let it be. I mean, I could get in conflict quickly with people at work or in public to help me. Like, I can get it, I can do it. No, instead, I just like let them do it. We could get in a pushing and shoving match. I got it. Push. No, I got it. No. Just let them do it. It's no harm. They're trying to, in some ways, show me that respect and honor in a way that our ego wants to resist. They are actually honoring me. They are actually honoring aging. And I think one of the big ego problems is that, I actually appear old to them. They don't know how old I am, but apparently I don't look as young to them as I look when I look at myself in the mirror, because they're treating me like I'm much older. So there are some illusions still going on here that I don't want to confront quite yet, because people are handling me different. So apparently I don't look nearly as youthful as I think I do. So, and you just, okay, it's funny to me, it's like, okay, all right. And so, it's just interesting, but it can be fun. And the resistance, the grievance, as Lori typed, The grievance is, I'm the one holding the grievance. I'm the one. A few weeks ago, we was talking about me and my body. And the Course in Miracles says the body will serve us well if we don't abuse it with unrealistic expectations. Now I'm paraphrasing, but it says if we don't abuse it by putting tasks upon it that's beyond its capacity, and to look at the body and say, I want you to be the same as you were 30 years ago, and to have that disdain and that disappointment. Think about your child. If you looked at your child like you looked at your body, oh, I'm so disappointed in you aging. Why don't you look like you did 30 years ago? Just think about the attitude and the way that we can look at ourselves and think about ourselves if we looked at our spouse that way. If I looked at my spouse with disappointing eyes and disappointing tone, you ain't fine like you were 20 years ago. You're not. How painfully hurting that would be for the recipient of that. But that's what we do to our body, and then we wonder why it breaks down on us. And the Course in Miracles says if we appreciate it, if we don't put unrealistic expectations upon it. Oh, I want to not sleep but 3 hours, and then I'm disappointed in you, body, because you don't feel energetic and alert. I can handle you and treat you any way I want to, and then when you don't perform well, I'm disappointed in you. And we just don't really think about what we're thinking about. We don't think about what we do. We don't think about how we get in the mirror and just pick our body apart. Oh, you never should change. You shouldn't be affected by the sun. What are these spots on me? I don't cover you well. I hardly ever put on my sunglasses. I bust out into the sun. I bust out into the snow. and I just want you to be like Wonder Woman or Superman. And when you're not, I have the audacity and the nerve to be disappointed in you and to question you as to why you're not up to snuff. So these unrealistic expectations is what causes our body to not serve us. Oh, I was a cheerleader. I was a majorette in high school. And I'm 30 years down the road. I'm 20 years down the road. We started earlier than that. I'm 7 years down the road, 5 years down the road. I'm 23 now. And you just should have seen me when I was 16. And how you think your body feels about that conversation? How would you feel if your spouse looked over at you and said, oh, you should have seen my wife 10 years ago. She was really hot. But that's what we do to ourselves. That's what we do to our body. The Course in Miracles says, if you treat your body right, it will serve you right. And I'm not going to go back and find it. I was on that for 2 or 3 weeks. But it's there. It's plain. It's nothing to unpack. It's nothing to break down. That's what it says. If you don't believe that I'm telling the truth, then you go find it. I'm not going to waste time looking that back up. But it's there. If you treat it right, it'll treat you right. And it's not a guilt trip. It's just a going back and say, I'm sorry, body. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I have not appreciated you. I have not appreciated all you do. I have not appreciated your function. I was thinking about Louise Hay, where she would just, in her prayer treatments and contemplation, she would just thank her liver. She would thank her organs, and she would thank her this and that. And She lived a long time and she was vibrant all the way to the end. And it's just a matter of taking responsibility to say, what role am I playing in this? Not fault finding, not witch hunting, but what role am I playing? And is it true? Is it true what the Course says? Is that part true? You know, we cherry pick. Do I want to hold that true? When the Course says, if I treat my body right, my body will treat me right. Do I want to say yes? Or do I want to yell but? And I'm getting off of me and my body because I'm talking about self-image today. Where's my clock? And there it is. So, in fact, these lessons the last 3 days, we started with 276 a few days ago, which was just perfect self-image lesson. 276 says, what is the word of God? My son is pure and holy as myself. That's in quotation marks. It's so quick you'll miss it. It's so quick because see, we so quick to finish the paragraph that we'll just read right through that and never get it. What is the word of God? Question mark. Next sentence, quotation marks. My son is pure and holy as myself. And you all have heard me say numerous times from my birthday lesson, Father, your holiness is mine. Your love created me and made my sinlessness forever part of you. I have no guilt nor sin in me, for there is none in you. That's the self-image that we hold, that we can hold, that we're capable of holding. And when you hold it, when that's down in you, circumstances of the body, the circumstances around me, what society says is pretty, what society says is in, what society says is out, doesn't matter. It doesn't hold a candle to that. It doesn't faze you. Somebody may say, well, Regis really don't care what people think. Well, it's not so much that I don't care what people think, is I can't care what people think. This is such a reality for me. I am the beloved child of God in whom he is well pleased, no matter what. And I like to say, comma, no matter what. And I would say to you in your mind, if you don't loud, when you think I am the beloved child of God in whom she is well pleased, after that, before the ego can get in, just say, no matter what. No matter what. And then we went on to yesterday's lesson where we are not live on Wednesdays. Lesson 277 says, let me not bind your son with laws I have made. Whoop, there it is. Let me not bind your son with laws I have made. Who made the laws? You did. Who told you that your body couldn't gain 5 pounds from the time it was 16 to the time it was 30? You did. Don't blame it on TV. Don't blame it on models. Don't blame it on magazines. We love to blame. Well, you know, they keep presenting these images of these perfect bodies. Stop it. They presented me images of Batman and Superman, but I never tried to jump off the roof. I never put a cape on or put my bathrobe on, tied it around my neck, and tried to jump off the roof. I never tried to run through a wall my whole childhood. We love to get into this, it ain't my fault, it's Hollywood's fault. Stop it. Hollywood showed me a lot of images. Let me not bind your son, and that's just the title of the lesson. Let me not bind your son with laws I have made. I don't even need to read the rest. I get it, but it's going to help you get it, so I'm going to read it. Your son is free, my father. Let me not imagine I have bound him with the laws I have made to rule the body. He is not subject to any laws I have made by which I try to make the body more secure. He is not, he is not changed by what is changeable. He is not slave to any laws of time. He is as you created him, because he knows no law except the law of love. Let us not worship idols nor believe in any law idolatry would make to hide the freedom of the Son of God. He is not bound except by his beliefs. Wow. You're not bound except by your beliefs. And David Fishman taught us that word that's right in the middle of beliefs, LIE. You are not bound except by your beliefs, by your own lies. They're yours, not mama's, not daddy's, not my upbringings. I was talking about in a group, I don't know what Zoom we were in, but Dove was in it. Oh yeah, Tuesday night. And it just came to me while Dove was talking that I accepted the true atonement, that all of me and my brothers are one and are saved, and there's no that we be separated, while I was a full-time, dedicated, on fire, speaking in tongue Christian. Everything around me was saying opposite. Everything around me was saying this person not saved, that person not saved, this person going to hell, that person is a good person, that person is a bad person. And in the midst of all that, I knew we were all good people. Red, yellow, black, and white, they are precious in his sight. None of intimidation of the religious Christian world could shake that out of me. I realized that it was a waste of money to go to other countries in the name of getting people saved, because they had to hear the gospel or else they were defaulted to hell. I realized the people right here in my country, in my neighborhood, in my family, or wherever, that they were saying were not good people. I came up in a day where there were still prostitutes, streetwalkers, and I befriended them. And religious people didn't like me befriending them. I was friendly to the that they said were going to hell, and they were telling me, "You can't be nice to them. You can't hang out with, fellowship with them, brother. They're not good people." They were all good. They were not in need of my doctrine or my Bible. They were fine just as they were. Exactly, Lori. And that was the thing. I was actually not going by what they were saying over the pulpit in the churches, in the meetings, but I was actually going by what I was actually reading for myself in the Bible. Very different. And it's like, what type of insanity is it that you say you represent a book and everything that you say is opposite of the book that you represent? That's that's a serious cloud. So there are no excuses. I said all that to say there are no excuses, because I came to that. I didn't come to that after someone showed me the course. I didn't have that realization after someone showed me an alternative. I had that realization right in the midst of all of that. And I came to the place where you're not going to tell me who to love and who not to love. You're not going to tell me that there are people that's worthy of my love and people that are not. You can hear God. You can know God. God is not hiding from you based on your circumstances, based on your surroundings, based on how you was raised. You know, on some levels, my family thought I was an odd duck. They had ways of saying it. They would say stuff like, "Oh, he's a bookworm," and there were people that read way more than I read, but they didn't know what else to say. They were trying to be nice, at the same time say Regis is different. Or one relative would say, "Well, he's psychic." They just didn't know what to say, how to process. And where was I getting this information from? It was coming from within. I didn't have outside external sources, books. It was no YouTube. There was no internet. There was no, I didn't even know what a Unitarian or Unity church was until I was 40 something, maybe 50 something. I'd never been to one. Didn't know what they taught, what they were. But God was with me everywhere I went, no matter what. Your son is free, my father. Let imagine I have bound him with the laws I made to rule the body. Jumping quickly over to today's lesson, 278, and today being the 278th day of the year. If I am bound, my father is not free. That's the sad part. If I'm bound, the Christ in me, the love that I am, is not free. And that's what it was about to me as I exited traditional doctrinal Western religion. That was the thought in my mind. That was the thought within me, that I just wanted to be free to love everybody, period. And no religion, no theology, no belief system was going to convince me that that was somehow wrong, that that was somehow incorrect. If I am bound, my father is not free. If I accept that I am a prisoner within a body, in a world in which all things that seem to live appear to die, then is my father prisoner with me. So if I think I'm old, God in me is old. And all God in me can do is sit and rock and work the remote control to the TV. You know, that's for the young people. Being a loving light, that's for the youth. My light is dim now. I can just sit and rock. If I accept that I am prisoner within a body in a world in which all things that seem to live appear to die, then is my Father prisoner with me. It was so interesting and so lifting to hear Carlton Pearson talk about his current encounter with cancer. And as he said, whether I'm here in this body or whether I move on, I'm still with you. And he said, we are still going to make this world a better place. So not even through death am I going to be bound. This is not the end. If I stay in this body, he said, if I stay in this body 20 more years or 2 days, we're still here together, making this world a better place. Right here. If I accept that I am a prisoner within a body in a world in which all seem to live appear to die, then is my Father prisoner with me. And this do I believe: when I maintain the laws the world obeys, must I obey. And this do I believe: when I maintain the laws the world obeys, must I obey. The frailties and the sins which I perceive are real and cannot be escaped. And see, when I believe that the frailties and the sins which I perceive are real cannot be escaped, I bind the love that I am. If I am bound in any way, I do not know my Father nor myself. Okay. If I buy into this in any way, and we love to talk out of both sides of our mouth, we love to entertain ourselves with foolishness. If I am bound in any way, I do not know my Father nor myself, and I am lost to all reality, for truth is free, and what is bound is not a part of truth. In the prayer says, Father, I ask for nothing but the truth. I have had many foolish thoughts about myself and my creation, and have brought a dream of fear into my mind. I did it. I'm not a victim. I'm not Adam blaming Eve and Eve blaming the serpent. I'm taking responsibility in this prayer. Let me just copy and paste it right there into our Pal Talk chat room, because it is quite a contemplation. Father, I ask for nothing but the truth. I have had many foolish thoughts about myself and my creation, and have brought a dream of fear into my mind. Today I would not dream. I choose the way to you instead of madness and instead of fear. For truth is safe, and only love is sure. I need no commentary on that. I just need to let that sit and let that marinate. Okay, so in the last 4 minutes, is Karen here today? I haven't seen Karen. Is Karen going to share with us today? I think on Thursdays she come on after me. I might go a little over. I got 3 minutes on the clock. I may go 8 more minutes, and then we'll be open for anyone who wants to take the mic and pal talk and maybe expound or share on what you have had to come up while I was talking. We would love to hear from you. But I will be finishing shortly. If you cannot hear the voice of God, and this is in chapter 4, The Illusions of the Ego, chapter 4, section 4, this needs not be. If you cannot hear the voice of God, it is because you do not choose to listen. See, no excuses. See, I heard the voice of God right there in the midst of all these other voices and realized that we are all atoned, we're all safe, we're all saved, we're all love. Our roles and personalities and our circumstances has nothing to do with it. Right in the middle of religion that is very much a body-based religion, bodies sinning, bodies doing wrong, bodies going to hell, bodies going to heaven. If you cannot hear the voice of God, it is because you do not choose to listen. And you may have a myriad of excuses and reasons. You know, then one of the big ones is you just want to fit in. Well, everybody else was doing it, everybody else was saying it, and well, it must be true. I must just be crazy. Because if you cannot hear the voice of God, it is because you do not choose to listen. Anyone offended by that? Anyone got a yeah, but? Really, yeah, but it's just a way of covering up I'm offended by what's being said. And I just thought of that. That's just fresh off the press. You know, we have a lot of ways, this human body ego has a lot of ways of covering up crap. But yeah, but it's just a way that we cover up that I'm offended and I have a grievance. That was so beautiful what Lori typed and realized, okay, I have a grievance with aging. And my friend Wayne Dyer used to say there are no justifiable grievances. I used to love to hear, why I just used to love to hear him say that. There are no justifiable grievances. Madonna had that song, and I loved that song back in the day, Carrie. Madonna came out with Justify My Love. And I just love the lyrics. There are no justifiable grievances. If you cannot hear the voice of God, it is because you do not choose to listen. The end. You do not choose to listen. No story, no excuses, no yeah buts. I'm willing to see. I'm willing to hear you. If I haven't heard you up until this moment, right here, right now, I offer my willingness, my wanting to hear you. That you do listen to the voice of your ego is demonstrated by your attitudes, your feelings, and your behavior. How do you feel? Fearful, threatened, angry, disgusted, disappointed, shamed, blamed, rejected, alone. Oh, I can tell you with all assurity that you're not listening to God by your attitude, by your emotions. And you want to tell me your story. Yeah, but you got to hear my story. No, I don't. Your story is an ego story. It's not a God story. I'm not interested. Oh, you're rude. You don't want me to vent. You don't want me to express myself. I don't want to hear your ego story. You can't pay me enough money as a therapist to listen to that crap. I used to tell people, even back in Festive Friday, I used to say, I'm a Dr. Phil type. It's like, and I know Dr. Phil only has about 38 minutes in an hour TV show. Got I don't know how many minutes of advertisement. So you don't even have an hour. You may have about 35 or 37 minutes of actual real content. And Dr. Phil don't have time to listen to all that crap. We got to get this done in these few minutes, in these 40. That's right, Karen. We got 44 minutes to get this done. Well, I can't listen to all your crappy ego stories. And when they dig their heels into their story, Dr. Phil has one thing he's going to always say. Well, how's that working for you? All right, let's get them off stage and get another family that asks some help today. So that you do listen to the voice of your ego is demonstrated by your attitudes, your feelings, and your behavior. And sometimes I'll tell people, well, you're behaving like this. You're saying what you think I want to hear, but your behavior is telling the story. Because if you believed what you were saying, you wouldn't be behaving that way. Oh, I'm not afraid. Well, your behavior says you are. God said, why are you hiding? Oh, we're not afraid. Well, why are you hiding in those bushes? I'm not afraid. Well, you sure acting. Which should I believe, what you're saying or the way you're acting? According to this in A Course in Miracles, I should believe your behavior. Ooh, that's insulting for egos. I'm telling you that I'm not mad. Well, I'm looking at your behavior. And if you're mad, you're afraid. Anger is a secondary emotion of fear. That you do listen to the voice of your ego is demonstrated by your attitudes and your feelings and your behaviors. Yet this is what you want. This is what you are fighting to keep and what you are vigilant to save. Your mind is filled with schemes to save the face of your ego, and you do not seek the face of Christ. I love that line. It's so true. What a tangled web we weave when we practice to deceive ourselves. Your mind is filled with schemes to save the face of your ego. And gosh, I mean, when I just let that sink, and just, for me, it's just the rush of all of the multiple and myriad of games we play to save the face of our ego, to hold up this Regis Reeves, this cool dude, this persona. It's so intricate. I mean, it's such, from sometimes the clothes we choose, what we choose to drive, what we choose to say about the clothes, what we choose to say about what we drive, what we choose to say in a conversation. How we choose to present, the joke that we tell. It's all a part of the scheme to save the face of our ego. I can see it. I don't know if everybody else can see it. I'm jumping to paragraph 2 and I'm ending. I have said to you that you cannot change your mind by changing your behavior. But I have also said, and many times, that you can change your mind. I'm going to paste this into our chat room. It's one of those back and forth type of analogies that the Course presents so often. I have said that you cannot change your mind by changing your behavior. But I have also said, and many times, that you can change your mind. And some people, they try that. And we talked about that in our marriage, because there'll be things that'll come up and we're quick to just want to change behavior, to just say, well, I'm not going to do that anymore, or I'm not going to say that anymore, because if I say that, I get in trouble. If I do that, it's going to be trouble. And we're trying to modify behaviors, and then we wonder why we fall right back into it. Because we're really not communicating, we're really not listening to the voice of love, to the voice of God, to the voice of spirit. We're just trying to modify behavior to prevent something that we think we don't want to happen from happening. And we get into this, what's wrong with me? Why can't I stop doing that? And I said once before to someone, because you're not convinced. You're not convinced that the truth is true. And you're just trying to modify behavior to satisfy someone. But you're not convinced that when you're convinced that this is true, then the behavior follows the truth of what you believe. And it's not that hard. I have said that you cannot change your mind by changing your behavior. But I have also said, and many times, that you can change your mind. When your mood tells you that you have chosen wrongly, and this is so whenever you are not joyous, and I'm always talking about where's your happiness meter. I'm not media, but where's your happiness meter? How do you know where are you on the scale of happiness? Where are you on the scale of joy? Where is your media? Why I keep saying media today? Where is your meter landing? And maybe it is media, because maybe we keep choosing negative social media. Maybe that's a Freudian slip. What are you watching? Who are you following? What stories are popping up in your click stream? You're not a victim of Instagram and Facebook. And I tell people in a heartbeat, well, those stories don't pop up on my Instagram and Facebook. The only thing pop up on my Instagram is Facebook is stuff that's trying to help people be happy. And I'm not lying. That's the truth. And people ask me, well, where did you get that quote, Regis? I'm like, it was on my feed. It was on my Instagram feed. Where did you get that from, Regis? It was on my Facebook. Where the crap that you getting coming from? When your mood, so, maybe that's for someone who's watching on YouTube or wherever. I kept saying media instead of meter, but that's some more food for thought. Now back to what I was reading. When your mood tells you that you have chosen wrongly, and this is so whenever you are not joyous, then know this need not be. Whenever I'm not joyous, that algorithm. But sometimes our feelings and our interests in our thought system is our human algorithm. And I said last week or earlier this week, is not the law of attraction is not what we're attracting to us, it's what we are attracted to. We got it wrong a little bit, some of us, We thought we were attracting stuff and it was just popping up in our life. No, I'm not a victim of the world I see. It's what I'm attracted to, what I'm experiencing. I'm attracted to pain. I'm attracted to suffering. I'm attracted to lack. I'm attracted to it. I'm interested in it. I like a good fight. I like defending. So fights show up. In every case, in every case, in every case, in every case, where Carrie, is there any room for yeah buts in every case? Is there any room for yeah buts in every case? So I don't have any yeah buts. I just fall in line with the truth. In every case, you have thought wrongly about your brother God created and are perceiving images your ego makes in a darkened glass. Think honestly what you have thought that God would not have thought, and what you have not thought that God would have you think. It's such a journey of thinking about what I'm thinking about. Think honestly, and the key word is honestly. I'm not trying to save the face of the ego, as we said earlier. I'm not trying to save face. We try to, isn't it funny that you will find yourself trying to save face in your house by yourself, with yourself, and we still can feel shame and embarrassment. And we'll go into a story in our head about whatever it is that we feel shame and embarrassment about. We'll try to save face alone with ourselves. If I trip over something in the house and nobody's home with me, I go into a story about the furniture in the house and how it's placed and who placed it there or something. Or who made it like this? Well, why did I buy it? I bought it. I didn't take the furniture under court order. Think honestly what you have thought that God would not have thought, and what you have not thought that God would have you think. Search sincerely. Okay, it first says, sentence 4, think honestly. And then the beginning of sentence 5, it says, search sincerely. See, we can play a lot of head games with ourselves. And why, I do not know. And we do this alone. We do this driving in a car alone, at home alone, alone within our own mind. I love the quote from Shakespeare, "To thyself be true." It's been in that I was attracted to that. I was drawn to that quote even as a little boy in school. Truth of that. Another Shakespeare sentence that got me, and this is left field, I'm just throwing it out there since I'm mentioning Shakespeare, was when I read that sentence that contained the words unrequited love. Oh, and I understood what that meant. Oh, wow. That's interesting. Even as a little boy, certain aspects of that were just interesting and phenomenal with me. And those are like different lines I never forgot. They just stayed with me. Think honestly. Sentence 4. Search sincerely. Sentence 5. So don't just think. search, because we just get into more of the ego game of preserving the ego thought system, preserving this Regis that I think I am, this persona that I think I am, and who I think people think I am. I just get into more of preserving that. So that there's a caveat to thinking. Think honestly. There's a caveat to searching. Search sincerely. And one of the things why I got on this topic of self-esteem and self-image and how it plays a role in our awakening and our awareness is that without the proper self-image, without the understanding and the knowing of who we are, we're afraid. We're afraid to search honestly. It's not that we don't want the truth, it's that we're just afraid to search honestly, to search sincerely. We're so intricately tied into this false idea and image of who we think we are. What'll happen if it comes, who am I if it unravels? Who am I if I'm not all this stuff I've made myself out to be? So there's much to be said about these two sentences start out. Think honestly. Don't just think. Search sincerely for what you have done and left undone accordingly. And then change your mind to think with God's. And it says this may seem hard to do, but it is much easier than trying to think against it. Your mind is one. Denying this and thinking otherwise has held you together, but has literally split your mind. As a loving brother, I am deeply concerned with your mind and urge you to follow my example as you look at yourself and at your brother and see in both the glorious creations of a glorious Father. And I really want to stop, but I really want to read this next paragraph. So here it goes. I wanted to stop on that note. And see in both the glorious creations of a glorious Father. But I cannot, I will not. I will read paragraph 3. When you are sad, know this need not be. Depression comes from a sense of being deprived of something you want and do not have. Remember that you are deprived of nothing except your own decisions, and then decide otherwise. And thank you, Sharon, and thank you for hanging out as long as you could. When you are sad, this need not be. And, you know, when we're sad, we want our friends and family to be sad with us. We want to commiserate. And that's not the compassion of Christ. That's the compassion. So, to let's go into my story, my Somebody Done Me Wrong song. And Karen is here. And I'm glad. And I am going to play this song. And after that, Lynn can start the re-recording. And the mic is all yours.
All is well, I can rest, I am safe. can rest. I am safe. All is well. All is well. I can rest. I am safe. All is well. All is well. I can rest. I am safe. All is well. All is well. I can rest. I am safe. All is well. 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 I can rest. I am safe. All is well. All is well. I can rest. I am safe. All is well. All is well. All is well. I can rest. I am safe. All is well. All is well. All is well. I can rest. I am safe. All is well. 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 I can rest. I am safe. All is well. All is well. I can rest. I am safe. All is well. All is well. I can rest. I am safe. All is well. All is well.
The more you give, the more you give, the more you live, the more you live. Your happiness is relative. But if you're feeling like crap, it's time to face the fact it's your prerogative. Your prerogative to be positive.
You're listening to ACIM Gather Radio for students and teachers of A Course in Miracles. Join us at acimgather.us.